Good evening, friends. Study with the Pal Engineering and General Geology. हो गया. The transforms of boundaries. The third type of plate have boundaries where there is neither subduction nor any collisions. The adjoining plates just slide ahead in their onset directions along the boundary region in a horizontal directions. These are called transform boundaries or simply ट्रांसफॉर्म फॉल्ट एंड आर वेरी कॉमन इन ओशियनिक फ्लोर्स. आप लोग वर्ल्ड के मैप देखिए, कौन सी कहाँ लोकेशन है, कैलिफोर्निया कहाँ है और कौन सी रिवर कहाँ है, वो वर्ल्ड और इंडिया के मैप आपके माइंड में होने चाहिए. आपके आप जिस क्लास में चाहे बीएससी कर रहे हो जियो से या एमएससी हो, एमटेक है, उसमें भी आपको मैप बहुत अच्छे से याद होना चाहिए. क्योंकि अगर एक कोई भी एग्ज़ाम देने जा रहे हैं तो थोड़ी घबराहट होना स्वाभाविक है. और अगर आपको बहुत अच्छे से याद है तो आप घबराहट में भी राइट आंसर निकालेंगे अगर आपको याद है. माइंड क्योंकि रिकॉल करता है, उसका रिस्पॉन्स बहुत अच्छा मिलता है अगर आप पहले से तैयारी करते हैं. लास्ट टाइम सडनली ही कोई अचीव कर जाए, लेकिन सबसे सही है कि आप पहले से ही हर चीज़ तैयार करके रखें. In fact, it is the study of large number of oceanic types of transform fault, the strike slip fault, that is though by some as a preceding idea for the concept of plate tectonic. The transform fault may occur in the vicinity of diverging boundaries or the converging boundaries and intersecting or interrupting those boundaries, affecting the suboceanic ridge and covering boundaries, intersecting or interrupting those boundaries, affecting the suboceanic ridge and trench as well. These are considered the cause of many shallow earthquakes recorded globally. Trench as well. So these are considered the cause of many shallow earthquakes recorded globally. The San Andreas fault zones 1,300 km long and at a place 10 km wide of California is considered as a classic example of transform fault recorded on the land surface. This fault connect the East Pacific rise in the south and the Explorer ridge in the north, and so both are divergent boundaries. It is believed that along this fault the Pacific plate has been grinding horizontally past the North American plate that for 10 million years at an average rate of about 5 centimeter per year. So the land on the west side of the fault zones on Pacific plate is moving in northwestern directions related to the land on east side of the fault zone North American plate. The driving force, the concept of plate tectonic has now been universally accepted. The facts accepted are the super solid lithospheric part is broken into blocks as a plate which are in a state of persistent wandering in different directions at a different rate, converging here, diverging there, and moving past each other's elsewhere. These plates are during on a hot plastic upper zones of the mantle's asthenosphere extending to a depth of 150 to 200 km below the surface, that is much below the crustal's boundaries under the continent 60 km and ocean about 10 km. Most of major superficial geological feature of the planet Earth, such as the continental mountains, oceanic ridge and trench, and oceanic boundaries, and also most of recurring geological process such as volcanism, earthquakes, tsunamis, and foldings, faultings, jointings are easily explained as directly or indirectly related to plate movement. Example, plate tectonics. There is, however, yet no broad agreement about the force that have been and are driving these lithospheric plate over the asthenospheres, the top soft hot regions of the mantle and part of the planet. Are these force due to convections current is resulting from flow of heat due to rise of temperatures with the increasing depth? Are these the gravitational force acting on subducting plate that give rise to drag effect that play a role in displacing other plates? Has the rate of heat loss from the interiors of the earth to plays any part in plate dynamics? These and others many more questions are presently receiving the attentions of the scientist, but there is no dispute now on the basic truth that the lithospheric plate have been moving in the past and are wanderings even at present that can be determined with the technological sophistications made available to the man during the close of 20th century. So our next topic, valley. Definition: a valley is the geographic sense is a depressions or hollows of a considerable aerial extent surrounded on sites by two or more elevated track. Valleys may be the result of is long erosions along the medial part of a elevated track, or these might have been produced from graduals or abrupt subsidence of medial blocks along the side fractures on valley of first types, that is those resulting abrupt subsidence of medial blocks alongside the fracture. Valley of a first types, that is those resulting abrupt resulting from selective erosions, are termed erosional valley, and that of the second type of type as a tectonic valleys, erosional valley. These forms the most common types of the valleys on the earth: erosional valley, and may be the result of the streams erosions and the glacial erosion. They are accordingly named as a river valley and glacial valleys. In most cases, the glacial valleys are also actually modified stream valley. Thank you.